Have you ever considered how much time you spend using social media daily? A study from Obero reveals that if you spend an average between 7 to 9 hours per day on social media, you would be spending roughly 40% of your life using online sources. That's assuming that you live a long and healthy life. My topic of my speech today is going to be how you can decrease your social media usage and what actions you can do to reduce your screen time overall. It's important to recognize that overindulging social media can have harmful effects to our brain and our bodies, and we need to recognize when we have a personal or emotional attachment to social media, and that's where we should take a step back and get a bit of a reality check once again. My credibility for this speech is reading and completing all of the chapters in Understanding Human Communication and completing the course of COMM 101. The main points that I will be addressing in today's speech are: what are the main social media sites that are used from our generation, why you should reduce your social media usage, and what you can do to reduce your overall screen time. Since I began my speech, have you checked your phone at all? If so, please keep listening to this speech because I will give you some tips later on that will help you negate that behavior. With this chart, this reveals a study conducted by Obero, an online networking company, viewing statistics of social media usage by age. I have a bar graph that represents each age group, and we can see that the top social media usage by age is millennials, and then most of our generation is Gen Z. And we can see that the most frequently used platforms, Obero stated that recent statistics on social media usage by age show that nearly all, 95% of US adults aged 18 to 29 use the video sharing platform YouTube, followed by Instagram with 71%, Facebook right behind it with 70%, Snapchat ranked number 4 with 65% usage, and notably all 4 of these applications are the most popular platforms in the United States. I personally use every single one, and I overindulge in probably every single one of them. And guess the average screen time of Gen Z. So a recent study revealed that Gen Z spends an average of 9 hours per day online. And as we can see here, I've charted out my average screen time. I spend typically 1 hour and 16 minutes on education, 3 hours and 6 minutes on social media, and 5 hours and 20 minutes on entertainment. So YouTube and Spotify are my 2 go-tos. And this is all on my mobile phone, so I typically access all my education through my laptop, so that's why that's a little low. But that gives me a total of 9 hours and 42 minutes, which is right on the average. And some of the biggest changes that I've identified as what I could do, and one that I have done, I have turned on a time limit for my social media usage, and I should stop listening to podcasts or shows at work. That's my biggest pet peeve with my social media usage. Turning on Do Not Disturb while doing homework, that's something that I have a bad habit of not doing. And break the habit of listening to music to fall asleep. I am one that I have to have noise when I sleep, so that's something that I could definitely work on. Moving on to our next reasons to decrease social media usage. So some reasons that I have identified from our textbook that why you should decrease your social media usage involve mental health issues, so sleep deprivation, poor academic performance, lower self-esteem and body satisfaction, and an altered perception of the ideal body image are all something that can affect your mental health. And I'm sure all of us have either known someone or have experienced any one of these symptoms in any type of way. I know for sure I've had problems with sleep deprivation and poor academic performance just because this year has been a lot for me. And other disadvantages or harmful effects of social media, if you will, are deception, misinformation, and lack of context with content. I'm sure that we've all experienced misleading information from social media, especially since COVID's been around, and I know it can lead us down some negative biases or lead us to follow narratives that aren't fully true. And I think it's important to recognize when we may be seeing that or how to recognize those signs of misinformation. Another disadvantage of using social media is stalking, harassment, and lack of security on social media. That could be anything from someone stalking your profile page to figuring out like where you live, where you go to school, like who your family is, or people bullying you, cyberbullying, sending you nasty messages, all of that. I'm sure everyone's experienced that before. And lack of security on social media, that's something that I really want to hit on pretty hard, just because it's so easy nowadays going on Facebook. For example, it's a link that's like car accident on Highway 95, and you click on it and it steals all your information right away, and someone makes a new profile with all your pictures and everything. That's happened to me 3 different times. So I think that that's important to address, that using social media can lead misleading information in that way to cause you to lose your security. And another reason to decrease your social media usage would be an opportunity to practice healthy communication and avoiding superficial relationships or eliminate risk of adding harm to your relationships. So whether that be going out and interacting with people on campus and meeting new friends that way, or avoiding superficial relationships, that makes me think of catfishing or things like that, where you may not be in a genuine, true relationship and you start to build feelings for someone that may not exist. And eliminate risk of harming relationships. If you're in a relationship, let's say you use Snapchat or Instagram, and it might decrease the trust between you and your partner, because of you never know who you're messaging or who you're meeting up with or who you're interacting with. That could cause a lot of harmful effects in your relationship. So now that you have learned the reasons to decrease your social media usage, I have provided a step-by-step guide to what you can use to decrease your screen time and limit the amount of social media that is involved in your life. Step 1, track your screen time on social media. I have recently set up my screen time on my iPhone, and it has helped me so much decrease my screen time. And every Sunday it sends you a little reminder of like how much your screen time has went down throughout the week and what apps you use the most throughout the week, and it helps kind of remind you how to continue to decrease your screen time usage and what apps maybe are prioritizing over others. Step 2, turn off all your notifications on social media applications. I honestly had never really considered doing this, but I thought it would be a great idea, especially with things like Instagram and Facebook that purposely send you notifications when they want you to use the app. I had never even considered, for some reason, just going on and shutting off my notifications so that way you can avoid getting bothered by them, and then later on when you actually want to use the app, then you can have all your feed ready for you. Step 3, Temporarily or permanently downsize on social media. This one's obviously a pretty obvious resolution, just going on and deleting the apps that you use most frequently. But quitting cold turkey could cause you to just re-download the apps immediately, and then you're back to square one and you're just sitting there in the void using it all day. So I would say that this is probably the most rash option. Step 4, work with a partner to take on the challenge. I thought this would be a great idea for trying to reduce your social media usage, to find a friend or a family member or someone that you know who might use their social media too often as well, and it helps you hold each other accountable as well as remaining consistent with your goals, because obviously you want to support your friend or family member as much as they want to support you. So it helps you stay committed to your goal and actually try and reduce that screen time back down. Step 5, set aside a specific time with limitations to use social media. So whether that be like a couple hours in the morning, or 1 hour in the evening after you finish your homework, or 1 hour in the middle of the day in between work and school. Having those limitations and sticking with the discipline is going to help you reduce your screen time, because you actually hold yourself to those limits and accurately track your screen time. Step 6, schedule times during the day where you are completely offline. I think that I should implement this more into my life, just because with school and work and everything, it's extremely hard for me to pull myself away from that screen time. And I think that it's a good idea just maybe every Sunday going for a walk, or every Wednesday going out to lunch with a friend or something like that. Just actively practicing healthy communication, or prioritizing your mental health, or whatever that may be, can help you feel less drawn to using social media, and it'll help you over time just not feel the attachment to it anymore. And the last step, if all of those don't work for you, I think that it would be smart to just temporarily take a break from social media and just get to know yourself again and feel the way you feel with your thoughts and yourself. I think that's one reason why I use social media so much, is because I'm just so stressed out with work and school and family and everything, that using social media or just having something that's playing in the background makes me want to just have it playing all day, so it eliminates my thoughts, you know. But I think just taking a break from social media and really just sitting with yourself for a while, that would be the most beneficial way to reduce using social media, because then you really don't feel drawn to it anymore. You are entertained with yourself or others. With that, I will be concluding our speech. And now that you have learned the negative impacts influenced from my personal usage and from overall social media usage, I hope that you recognize if you're also struggling, and I hope that my transparency with my poor screen time helps you recognize if you may be struggling too. And the reason to remember, I would say, to review our main points of our speech, the most frequently used social media platforms are YouTube first, Facebook second, Instagram third, and then social media fourth. And the reasons why you should decrease your social media usage are mental health, misleading information, communicating healthily with other people, and saving your security. I apologize, I messed myself up. And we also discussed how you can decrease your social media usage through the 7-step guide that I provided. The reason to remember this speech would be that you have time stolen from your life. I never realized how it accumulates so fast, and then you wake up one day and you're 21 and you're about to graduate college, you know what I mean? And I feel like I've spent so much of even just the last 4 years using social media. So my encouragement to you would be to take control over your life again, and don't let your habits dictate your actions, and communicate with others if you're struggling. My goal after this speech is that you all are encouraged to regain the time that you lost in the void of social media. And time is of essence, as they say, and I hope that you appreciate your time that you have every single day.